Hey, Coach Borino with you. Welcome to another chapter. Man, you're making progress. I'm proud of you. Awesome. This is chapter 5, where we're going to talk about building a reliable, predictable system to generate FSBOs and turning FSBOs into listings, into clients. Quick disclaimer, always have to say it, my attorney makes me. I'm not implying you will achieve any results or do anything. Numbers and examples are strictly hypothetical, and you will not hit a home run on your first attempt. It's a system that requires some patience, some work, some tweaking. But after that, you should be up and running pretty quickly. So let's dive right in. No distractions. Give me a few minutes. This will be a pretty short session because most of the teaching and most of the learning will happen once you dive into the system. It's divided between the videos and between the book. We'll talk about it. But while we're here, no distractions. Let's get going. I assume you've taken the first 4 chapters. That means you've been through the path, through the mindset. That's important. You've also been through the core influence. We're going to use a lot of the communication principles, a lot of the psychology, a lot of the influence, a lot of the verbal jiu-jitsu, and we're going to deploy it with FSBOs without being pushy, without being salesy. And you also have your time under control. I assume you've taken these lessons and you're ready to go. If not, please don't go any further. You will feel overwhelmed. You will not get the results you want. Don't do that. Spend some time studying these 3 chapters first. And the 4th chapter, of course, is the Referral Plus. Let's dive into FSBOs. We're going to talk about where to find FSBOs, how to use no resistance approach. You're going to learn a very soft approach that generates very little, if any, resistance. You're going to learn some follow-up strategies that are essential in order for you to convert for sold by owners into clients. And you will learn how to get listings. Now, this is your companion. You either already have the booklet, and it's not that big. It's less than 70 pages. Or it's on the way to you. So if you don't have it yet, don't worry. My staff, Roseanne and Julia and Helen and Hannah, everybody else on my staff is already working on it. Make sure you get it so you can start taking listings. This is my man, Sean. Sean became one of my clients, studied the system. Listen to this. So my wife may shoot me. We don't want that. We don't want no casualties. So far, we are at 0% casualties at Borino Productions. We want to keep the statistics, so it's good. Spending money without talking to her, that's bad. On Monday, I decided I needed a boost this year. Now, my market has a lot of FSBOs, and it's one of my main lead generation sources, but returns are low. So without asking, I bought FSBOrino. Spent a couple of hours going through the first half of the videos and then decided to jump right in and try it out live. Figured if I messed it up, that was fine. FSBOs here get called many, many times a day by agents. They won't remember me from Adam, which is true. Contacted 23 FSBOs, actual conversations with 7. Of those 7, 2 said they have offers and go jump in a lake. Of the remaining 5, I had 1 10-minute tour today, 1 tomorrow, 2 on Thursday, and the last one is getting back in town next week. Not bad for not really investing much learning time in the system yet. Just follow the first couple of steps. Oh, and the one today is coming in tomorrow to the office for a listing appointment. Never had them come to the office before. Just follow the steps. Thank you, Borino. Wish I had taken the plunge sooner. I can't wait to see what happens when I get the system down and I'm off and running. You can achieve results quickly if you follow the steps that I'm going to outline in this session. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to share with you a 4-week implementation so you can not just get the first part like Sean here, which will be pretty easy, but you will get the entire system up and running in less than a month. That's the goal. But got to do the work because look at my man. Spent a couple hours studying it, 23 contacts, 7 conversations, 5 appointments, and 1 listing so far. Not that bad. See, the formula I teach you is always the same. You get leads. You get appointments with those leads. You turn those appointments into listings. That's your lifestyle. Now, the cool thing about FSBOs and what makes them unique and why I spend the entire chapter of the path teaching you is the hardest part and often the most expensive when it comes to money, time, and effort is finding motivated sellers, right? It's finding leads, finding somebody who wants to do something, preferably now or in the near future. Here's the cool thing about FSBOs. They're easy to find. I mean, they're already advertising, hey, over here, we want to sell. We want to move. They're easy. Only expireds and FSBOs can be found literally within minutes. Best leads. And they need your help, as you're going to see soon. The cool thing about it is they're pretty easy. Once you have the system down, you will discover that for sale by owners are cool people who need your help. The short follow-up window also makes them cool. You know what I mean? If you, let's say you generate leads online or door knocking, very often you're going to get people who are interested in moving, but maybe a year from now, 2 years from now. That's not the case with FSBOs. They're already in the process. Majority, and again, I'm going to show you some proof, majority of FSBOs end up listing with an agent. In spite of what you believe, in spite of what you read online in a very reputable forums, in spite of what you think, and in spite of what the media sometimes wants you to believe, majority end up listing. Because many are motivated sellers. They want to move. And many go FSBO just as an intern step to get a good agent. They're shopping for a good agent, for someone like you. So, before we dive into the system, you need to understand, why do they go for sole by owner? Number one reason is they want to obviously save the commission, which makes sense. I mean, if you look at it from their perspective, it's a logical thing. Wouldn't you like to save $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 if you could? Of course, we all would. So from their perspective, it makes sense. Now, whether it works or not is a completely different story, right? Some go for sell by owner because they don't like agent, they may have a bad experience. Some go for sell by owner because they have low motivation and they were rejected by top agents in the area. Some go for sell by owner because they may have some real estate experience. You know, they sold a house 20 years ago, they still think it's easy, which is really the case. They think it's easy. They're in for a rude awakening, aren't they? So now, they're easy to find. Majority end up listing with an agent. Why wouldn't you work them? Why wouldn't you go after for sole by owners? Why is it that most agents avoid them like Blake? Well, there are several reasons. Some FSBOs can be rude, which is true. They can be assholes sometimes. But as you'll discover, their psychology is based on fear behavior because they've been bashed over the head by really shitty scripts, arrogant salespeople, aggressive salespeople using scripts from 1985 they got for free from some shitty seminar. Some may have low motivation. You don't want to work FSBOs because they just don't need to move. Some agents don't work for sell by owners because they just don't know what to say. They don't know how to approach them. They're afraid. They don't have a system, and they're just the overall fear of rejection, which is never very comfortable. That's why what I teach you will not get a whole lot of rejection. There is a fear of discomfort. You've got to be out of your comfort zone, true. But you will not have to push, you don't have to close, you don't have to do any of that. All right. Now I promised you some proof that these folks really are good leads. Check this out. This is a site called the FSBOr. You probably have heard of it. It's one of the largest for sole by owner sites where FSBOs can sign up. They have a free package to sell the house and they have a paid package where for sole by owners go. Now, I recently interviewed this guy. This is PJ Mitchell, who is the CEO of FSBOr. He runs the website and they've been tracking, when I talked to him, it was over 90,000 for sole by owners. And even I was shocked when they told me that according to their data, 71% of the for sale by owners list with an agent in about a month. That means 3 out of 4 FSBOs end up signing a contract in about a month. Now, in your area, these numbers will be different. Your market may be different, but not hugely different. It's not going to be a vast difference where 0 end up listing. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But because FSBOr lists for sale by owners, list meaning they come from all across the country, their data is from almost every part of the country, definitely from every state. Pretty cool, right? Here's the second thing. This is from a National Association of Realtors. They do a study every year on FSBOs. They've been tracking this for years, and I'm going to show you how they track it. But look at this. FSBOs versus agent-assisted sales. Only 8% out of all the transactions, 100 homes sell, only 8 are for sale by owners. Only 8%. Isn't that crazy? And notice in the second row there, seller did not know the buyer 5%. That means only half actually know how to market the house, how to promote it properly, how to price it properly, how to negotiate the contract and get it sold. Majority of the homes in the United States right now are sold with the help of an agent. Look at this. NAR has been tracking it since 1981, 15%. And look, you would think with the current technology, where the seller can set up a website, promote the property, put it on Zillow, put it all over the place, it would be easier to sell, right? Without an agent. But it's the exact opposite. Look how continuously and very consistently the numbers are going down. For the last 3 years, it's been 8%. That means majority of the FSBOs do not sell, they list with an agent. That's just this. Let me show you one more thing from the same report of NAR. You should get this, by the way. There's a link on this page where you can order it if you're a member of NAR, which I'm sure all of you are. It's only $20. Lots of good data, lots of good information. But check this out. Exhibit 8.6. Selling price, FSBO versus agent. Not only they don't sell, those that do actually take a hit. In most cases, median selling price for sold by owners, $190,000 versus agent-assisted properties, $250,000. That's a huge difference in a median selling price. You see that? That's a big chunk of cash that they're leaving on the table by not being represented by a professional. And this is not just last year. This goes back, I have stats to 2009, but it's pretty consistent. Look at the difference. Average difference is $48,000. That's way more than 3, 4, 5, 6%, 7% commission that most agents charge in most areas. So what does that mean? Here's the bottom line. They need you. If they want to sell quickly, they want to get a good price for it, they need an agent. You need the listing way less than they need your help. All you want to do is help. Selling on your own these days is really a bad idea. It's complicated, it's difficult, it's risky. It requires time, it requires effort, money, and expertise, which the majority of the for sale by owners don't have. That's why they end up listing with a good agent like you. Through this system, you will learn exactly how to do that. That's my goal. There is a reason why FSBOs behave a certain way. That's the FSBO psychology. On surface, sure, they may seem rude, they may seem aloof and cold and not interested, or just assholes, you know? But that's because they have been conditioned not to trust salespeople, not just real estate people, but salespeople in general. We react the same way, especially when somebody's applying pressure and somebody's trying to manipulate us, right? See, deep inside, most of them are nervous or even scared because they really don't know how to do this. Most of these folks either never sold a house or sold a house 10, 15 years ago, and we both know that was a very different world, right? Remember this. These are just people who have a problem, and they're trying to fix it their way. They're like the little engine. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Well, the reality is they can't. Let me give you an example. This is what they think is a good marketing. This is a for sale sign of an actual for sale by owner. Or how about this one? You talk about budget advertising. This is a $389,000 house. They want to save the commission. They also want to save on marketing and advertising. This is an actual open house sign for $400,000 house. You know what I mean? So they really don't know what they're doing. They need your help. They really need you. They just don't know it yet. So their no is nothing more than just a knee-jerk reaction. Yes, there may be some no's that you may encounter, but very often it's just like the just looking when you walk into the store and yet you're ready to buy. So what that no means, just not right now. And with the right tools, the right psychology, the right approach, and understanding where they're coming from, very often that no right now will become yes later. What's important to know is every FSBO goes 3 stages. They go through 3 stages of selling. At the beginning, when they put the house up the market, they're all excited. Martha, look at me. I'm going to get this done. Remember how I sold that shed 27 years ago? This is the same thing. It's just a bigger property. I could get this done and save us $8,000. Watch me. Right? They're very convicted. So at the beginning, your role when they first hit the market is just build a relationship, offer a lot of helpful advice. You have plenty of resources and tips and ideas how to do that. But then, as the time marches on, the reality kicks in that not every buyer is motivated, not everybody falls in love with their oh so beautiful house. They encounter problems and solutions, no-shows, slow open houses, ads they have to design, marketing they have to do, follow-up that is required. The reality sets in. And they're scratching their head going, maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. And then they enter the listing zone, where it's clear that if they have the motivation, if they have the desire, they will be listing. That's the plan B. Now, the lower their core drive and emotion, the lower their desire, the lower their motivation, the longer this process takes. But if at the end they're motivated and they want to sell, and if they don't get lucky, if they're not part of that 5% group who knows how to do that, the opportunity is wide open for you to come in and help them list the property. Rinse, repeat. That's all. So what's going to happen at the end? Some will sell on their own. And don't be discouraged, especially in the hard market where there's a high demand. Some will sell. It's okay. And some will sell even with your help. It's just part of the process. Don't worry about it. Keep going because there's plenty. Some will never sell. They will change their mind or they're not motivated in the first place. Some will list with another agent. Now this one sucks. Sometimes you can do something about it, sometimes you cannot. Sometimes all you can do is just learn a lesson, improve, fix something. If there is something to be fixed, move on. Cool thing about FSBOs, even if you fuck it up, even if the approach is no good at the beginning, if you really don't know what you're doing, with some practice, with some time, and I'll walk you through all that. It's all at your fingertips. You can get good at it, and there'll be more tomorrow. There'll be another FSBO tomorrow, another next week, another. You know what I mean? Some will rent it out, but some will list with you. Now, the more list with you, the better, of course. The idea is for you to convert more of them. But remember this, I coach and I work with some real rock stars, some real top agents. And my dream and golden desire and my purpose of the path is for you to become that top listing agent, if you're not there already. But even they won't get them all. So don't obsess with it, don't beat yourself up too much, do your best and keep going. The entire system is divided into 3 parts. The first part of the FSBOrino system is the first contact. This is the active approach. This is where you actively go out there, reach out to the seller, establish connection and establish relationship with them, and take the first step. You don't wait passively for them to reach to you. You do the contact. That can be call, email, or you stop by. Again, you will get the scripts, the dialogues, the content of the email, all of that comes with the package. Then we're going to go for part 2, which is a little visit, short, personal, face-to-face talk. You're going to spend about 10-15 minutes with them, and then either go straight for the listing appointment. Some you will drop. Really, the only reason you would drop a for sale by owner is if you're convinced, if you're absolutely sure that they're not motivated at all. That would be the only time. But majority you will put on a follow-up, and then through that follow-up, you will set up a listing appointment and get a listing. That is the most frequent path you're going to take. First contact, visit, follow-up, appointment, listing. So, first part of the system we're going to focus is on making a good, strong first impression at the beginning. Very important. Because if you come across as needy, if you come across as low status, or too aggressive, too strong, the results at the end will not get you to what you want, which is the listing, if you screw it up at the beginning. So that's going to be part 1. Second part will be, how do you handle the visit? How do you come across when you talk to them in person? The right questions to ask, and again, you're going to get all the resources for that. And we're going to move to the last part, which is the follow-up plus the listing appointment at the end. That is the part of the 4-week implementation plan. This is the plan to get you up and running very quickly with this. What you require on your part is be diligent, be focused, have everything planned, and actually follow it. Don't get distracted. All right? So here's the plan. You're going to need the book, of course, and you're going to need access to the listing university where FSBOrino lives. So on week 1, your assignment is to read only pages 1 through 24. It's going to take you a few minutes. It's an easy read. Lots of pictures, big fonts, super easy. But what I do want you to take a lot of notes. Write down stuff. Mark stuff up so that you're not only passively absorbing the information, but actually thinking about implementation. Okay? Next, I want you to set up the first contact emails. These are the first emails, and they can be also text or phone call, but it's the first reach to the for sale by owner. You're going to need these set up on your CRM, on your contact management system, okay? Next, I would like you to watch the first coaching videos, first 4, 1 through 4. Each one is about 12, 15 minutes or so. Easy. You can just plow through them, knock it out. And this one is important. You need to practice the first conversation, the opening conversation, which will usually happen on the phone, 5 times, minimum. Minimum 20 minutes a day. Now hear me on this, this is important. You must master your ability to have a confident, pleasant, easy conversation where you have a good time, you're in control. They're not long. The opening conversation, 2, maybe 3 minutes at the most. But I want you to find a partner, and this can be your spouse, this can be another agent, this can be another student here on the path or somebody on Rockstars, who is willing to practice with you minimum 5 times for 20 minutes. This will get you to that point a lot faster. You will get more confident, you will get better results, you will have more fun, and you will convert more clients if you practice and get good at it. And the last assignment on week 1 is contact and speak to 5 FSBOs, strictly as a practice. Don't get attached to the outcome. Don't worry about what you're going to get out of it other than a practice what it's like to talk to real for sale by owners. And what you're going to recognize and what you're going to realize, the majority of these people are really nice. They're not that bad. They're pretty cool. They're pretty friendly. Why? Because if you're not a douchebag to them, if you're not pushy, if you're not sleazy, if you're not manipulating, It's going to be just one human being talking to another human being. All right? So you're going to have a whole bunch of these little emails. They're super easy to set up. It's the first reach. I explain how to use it in detail in the videos. There's also an explanation in the book, so you'll know how to use it. Nice and easy, nothing hard to it. This is the part of where the videos are. So you're going to go to Listing University, you're going to click on Programs, select FSBOrino, and I want you to watch these. These are the first 4. First things first, which is an intro to the system. The psychology, we're going to go deeper into how their behavior is triggered, how you can influence it, how you can do that being cool and being authentic. Then getting started with the system and making the first contact work. Está bien? Now, what I would like you to do right now, right this moment, is pause this video and put it on your calendar. When you're going to do implementation of week 1, what days, what times. And I would block out, with practice, about an hour a day. That's all it should take. 20 minutes of practice and maybe 40 minutes of watching the videos and doing the homework, implementing, setting the systems up. That's all you're going to need. But do it right now. Pause it right now. Hit pause. Hit pause. Hit pause. Hit pause. And put it on your calendar right now, okay? I'll be right here. All right, welcome back. You've done it, right? It's on your calendar. You promise? Yes? I am watching you. I'm paying attention to you. I know every move. All right, week 2. Here's your homework of week 2. Use this as a checklist as well. It's part of the printout you can download here on the page so that you know what needs to be done. Week 2, you're going to read pages 26 through 48 in the workbook. Again, take a lot of notes. There is a marketing piece you're going to bring with you, or you're going to, worst comes to worst, mail or email to the For Sale by Owner, called The Best Websites. I'm going to show you in just a moment what it looks like. I would like you to watch videos 5, 6, and 7. I would like you to get some thank you cards. Now, you have some options here. Here on the page, there's a link to Send Out Cards. We are affiliated with Send Out Cards. It's a great company that can send awesome postcards. They have a cool plan for $97. You can send unlimited postcards in the US, which is pretty cool. But if you don't want to send out cards, it's fine. You can just go to like Staples or Office Depot, one of those stores, and just get a box of nice thank you cards because they're part of the sequence. They're very, very important. Next, you're going to practice the visit conversation. How to have a pleasant 10-minute conversation, 10, 15-minute conversation with the For Sale by Owner when you visit, when you're previewing the house. How to stay in control, the right questions to ask so you figure out what is their motivation, what is their core driving emotion, what is their problem that they're trying to solve, and how you can connect with them. Got it? The last is visit 5 FSBOs. Do actually apply in real life what you're learning. So this is what the top sites look. You feel free to edit it, add sites to it, take out. But these are the sites you recommend to the FSBO you should advertise your properties there. Okay, it looks like that. You also have it in the workbook as well. There's a list there. So put it on your letterhead if you want, make it look fancy. Don't overthink it, don't overdo it. At the end, it doesn't really matter a whole lot other than you providing something really cool, interesting, and helpful. Now, as far as the videos, I want you to watch these. What about overpriced FSBOs? Follow-up part 1 and follow-up part 2. All right. Pause the video again. Let's put it on your calendar now. Same thing. You need about 60 minutes a day to get this done. Maybe less, but about. No more than an hour a day. All right? Hit pause, put it on your calendar, come back when you're done. Okay. Done? You sure? You sure? Don't bullshit me. All right. Week 3 plan. You're going to read pages 49 through 61, take some notes. Set up steps 1 through 9 of the follow-up sequence. This is going to be important because majority of your conversions, majority of the listings will come as a result of your follow-up. The first impression is important, but it's the follow-up that will actually take place, where the conversions will take place. Practice the follow-up conversation. What do you talk about when you get back on the phone with the For Sale by Owner or when you revisit them? You will give them a whole bunch of tips. You will give them new updates, what's going on in the neighborhood. You will give them advice. Again, the program, the videos, the book is loaded with all that stuff. What you need to do is watch the videos and practice those conversations. Then go visit 5 FSBOs or more. More is better. If you can do more, it's fine, but minimum 5. Cool? Cool. So here are the videos you're going to watch. You're going to watch the advanced strategies and you're going to watch the objections. And this is from the book. I believe this is currently on page 56. Don't quote me on it, but it should look like this. Keep in touch. This is the first part of the follow-up sequences you're going to set up. Best website, thank you card, and all that good stuff. All right. Now let's talk about week 4. You're going to read the rest of the book, which is page 62 through 67, take notes, and you're going to set up the rest of the follow-up sequence, the other half of the follow-up sequence. You will practice the listing dialogue 5 times. There's a video, Getting Listings, where I will show you when you actually sit down with the for sale by owner where they want to know, well, you mentioned that we can get about the same amount of money or maybe even more if we list with an agent. We're curious why. You're going to explain why. And you're going to watch me do it. You actually have that part of the presentation. You have the slides. It's all part of the system. I got you. Don't worry. I got you covered. Everything is there. So you're going to practice that 5 times. You're going to watch videos 10 and 11, which are the final videos, and visit 5 more FSBOs. So as you see, if you work 5 days a week, all you got to do is visit 1 FSBO. So if you do this, and I hope and wish and more, I know you will do this. By the time you're done with the implementation, you will have interacted with 20 for sale by owners. Now remember Sean's numbers at the beginning? You can beat that. It's possible to beat that. I can promise you that, but it's doable. So you're going to watch these videos, Getting Listings, and bonus, there's a Q&A implementation session where I answer a lot of questions. We go over the strategies. You're going to apply this. This is what you're going to put in your contact management system, whether you use Realty Juggler or LionDesk, just set it up as a sequence, include that. Again, I'm going to walk you through it all in the video so you know how to set it up. You may get some pushback from the FSBOs. You're going to hear some objections, like we have a friend who has a license, and we have an agent, and we're getting buyers. Don't worry about all that. Most of it is bullshit. There's a separate session, one of the videos, where we go in detail why you get these objections, but it's mostly fear-based. They're afraid to get bamboozled, they're afraid to get manipulated, they're afraid to make a bad decision. Now, what if they do have a friend who has a license? And what if they do end up listing with them? Don't worry about it. Do your best. But here's the general rule I want you to follow. Keep in touch. No matter what they tell you, no matter what they say, a lot of it consider just noise. Look at their actions. And if they're not listing with their friend, or if that buyer is not closing the deal and they're moving out, you're going to keep in touch no matter what. The only time I want you to discard a for sale by owner from your database is if you're 100% certain they're not motivated. They have no core drive and emotion, they have no desire to move, or they're really a pain in the ass. Like they're not just afraid, it's the personality. I don't want you to ever work with assholes or difficult people who are rude to you. You don't need to, because there are plenty of nice people. But other than that, keep in touch. Use the sequence, set it up. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be operational. Good enough. Besides, the mail is good, the postcards are good, email, text, all that is fantastic, but the magic happens in the conversations. That's the most important part. You being able to talk to the for sale by owner every 7 to 10 days, offering something helpful, asking questions, answering their questions, that's really where the important connection, and you need that connection. That's where it's going to happen. Some troubleshooting tips. You're using it, you're doing it, and it's not working. You're not giving it enough time. It's going to take a little bit of time for you to get comfortable, get confident, and for the systems to kick in. Besides, some for sale by owners will take 2, 3, sometimes 4 months before they realize, oh, stupid, bad idea, let's do something else. It's also possible you're not doing enough contacts. If you contact 1 or 2 FSBOs a week, that's not enough. At the end, it is a numbers game. The more chances you have, the more hooks, so to speak, you have in the water, you know what I mean, like fishing, the better chance you have to get more listings. So more is better. Good quality is important. Good first contact is important. Following the process is important. But also the numbers need to be high enough. And the last one, usually the most important one, you're not building enough trust. You're raising some red flags. You're turning people off one way or another. What can it be? You may come across as needy. You may come across as nervous, which is okay. At the beginning, shit, I was so nervous, man, my hands were shaky and sweaty. It's normal. It's going to go away. With practice and doing it, you will feel better. You will feel more confident. You may come across as desperate or unprepared. Unprepared what to say, unprepared the questions to ask and all that. Now, you may not be those things. That's possible. But you may come across as such. You may be perceived as such, which may or may not be the same thing. So how do you fix it? The number one way to fix it is you practice. You practice. That's why I'm so focused and so adamant about you diligently spending at least 20 minutes a day to master this. Because that's really all it takes. If you diligently practice this for the next 4 weeks, 20 minutes a day, you can really master the communication, master the good first impression, master the rapport building abilities, the building the authentic connection, not the salesman kind of, weak, but the real one, the actual authentic one where people respond to you, they resonate with you, they click with you, and they're happy to do business with you. They trust you and they like you. That's the goal. That's the idea. Now, of course, I'm here to help. We do every 2 weeks our live sessions. If you run into trouble or if you run into questions, run into situations, please do join us. We do it usually on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. There are a couple hours where we spend analyzing, helping, talking. It's a lot of fun. So do join us there. Post questions there. You can also always reach out. You can post on the path in our private group. That's a great place to ask for resources and help and guidance. We're here to help. Our fellow students are here to help you. I'm here to help you. I want to make sure you succeed at this. But more importantly, you will be able to help a bunch of people who, as you can already see based on what you just saw in this video, they need your help. They need your expertise and your guidance. You're going to help yourself. You're going to help your family. Everybody wins. Everybody's happy. I'm happy that I have a successful student that is going to complete the path with me. You're happy because you have a profitable business. You're helping people, making money. Your spouse is happy because the bills are paid. Everybody wins. But it's going to take some focused effort on your part, and that's what I expect from you. If you need my help, do reach out and let me know. And with that, go to it. Everything is planned, right? You did it. It's on your calendar. Now it's just a matter of following that plan, putting things to work. Watch the videos, read the book, implement the materials, go out there, talk to some for sale by owners. You got this. What you will realize pretty soon is it is not as hard as it seemed at the beginning. It is not as difficult. It actually can be pretty easy once you reach a level of certain mastery. And that level is not that hard. Not that far either. Okay? Thanks for watching this video. Now go to work. There's a link here that will get you to the FSBOrino. Check out the book. Check out the rest, and I'll talk to you real soon. Coach Borino signing off. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.